Awesome. Thank you. All right.
Chris.
We have at the podium now the Mary Lady Tigers, head coach Wyatt Faust, players Callie Carver, Parker Greer, and Elizabeth Curtis. Coach, comments on the game?
We knew we had our hands full. They're really good in transition. They get on the glass really well. We did not do a good job keeping them off the glass, one of their strengths. I thought our, first possession defense was pretty good. We had them taking the kind of shots we felt like we wanted them taken. We just couldn't secure a rebound. Some of our turnovers led to some easy opportunities, and if you turn the ball over against them and you let them get going in transition, 2 becomes 10, becomes now you're behind. So, we didn't get to do, quite what we wanted to do in that regard as far as control the tempo and control the pace, especially with getting behind early. But, they're a favorite to win this thing for a reason. They got a lot of D1 players on the floor, a lot of talent on the floor. They play really hard. They play really hard for 32 minutes. So they're going to be a tough out for anybody. It's kind of unfortunate that we had to play them today. I think our girls we had an awesome regular season. And I think at some point we've got to look at seeding this thing. Tomorrow, Male and Boyd are going to play at 1:30 on Thursday, and no offense to anyone else in that bracket, but someone else may well come out of there. But it's just it's to the point now we have enough ways to do it between coaches polls, computer rankings, and I know some people are like, well, it won't be perfect. I think anything is better than nothing as far as that goes. I just think it's time to start the conversation. In Kentucky, there's, we have the A, but there's only one end of the season state tournament, and teams work so hard to get there. It's such a hard thing to do that when you get there, what you did should be rewarded. It is a hard deal to get here. So when you get here, I feel like there should be some reward. If you go by any ranking system there is, Ryle's probably number 1 or 2, and we're anywhere between 6 and 9. Maybe we're playing them in the second game, but maybe the first game we're playing somebody else. Last year we played Mercer County in the first round on like a Wednesday. And I really think that's a conversation that we need to have, and we need to start looking at that. And I don't know, maybe if the draw is a little different, I'd be singing a different tune, but I do think we're at the point now where we have the tools to do it, and we need to start looking at doing it.
Front here. He's right behind us.
Coach, I know you're around a lot of these girls, not just your own girls, but a lot of girls in this tournament. What you kind of just jumping off that? Where do you see the rest of that top bracket playing out? Because I know there's a lot of solid teams up there.
It's a gauntlet to try to predict who's going to come out of the top bracket. You can look at Scott County and Ryle are both loaded, but George Rogers Clark's got multiple Division I players. Just look how many Division I players are in that top bracket. That speaks volumes for how much talent is in that top bracket. And it is what it is. Some really good teams are going to come out of there, and a good team's going to come out of the other side too. But I just think if we seeded it, there'd be a little more balance. And when we have the ways to do it, I don't care if you mix the computer rankings with the coaches' rankings. Let the 16 coaches who are in it rank. And again, it won't be perfect, but something I think is better than nothing.
Next question. Right here.
25 turnovers, is that a season high for you? And why did they give you so much trouble moving the ball?
Their length, their length is, you can't simulate it. You cannot simulate it. The only other team that had that kind of length we saw all year was probably Eastern. Marshall County has some length. They don't quite have the quickness that to go with that length per se. And so, when you can't simulate it and you can't prepare for it, you can go over your press break all you want, but windows they open and close so quickly, and you just have to be extremely sharp, extremely disciplined, and we dribbled the ball in spots where you just can't dribble the ball, and made some decisions that we don't normally make. But that's what happens when you're sped up and when that length starts to bother you.
Right here in the middle.
Coach, in a game where offense was kind of sluggish in spurts, the end of the second quarter and in the third quarter, big three-pointers, 2 from Parker and 1 from Mackenzie Turley. How important has Parker been as a sort of a clutch player in the last 4 years?
She's somebody last year that she, probably averaged 2 points a game and 200 screens a game, and it was just kind of a role player and just did whatever we asked her to the best of her ability. She was really awesome at it. And this year we said, look, for us to be what we can be, you're going to have to kind of take on some of those things and step up and take some of those shots. And it wasn't for lack of ability; it was just for that's not what we needed last year. This year, for us to have a chance to be back here, we graduated 3 Division I players, and they just kind of had to pick up the slack. And she was always able to, but this year she just the moment was never too big. And but I think it was like that for all of our guys, and her contribution in whatever we needed to be that night was huge for us all year.
Right here in the back.
After the seniors, just talk about 4 years and 4 trips to the state tournament, just what that means to you guys to get to do that from a small school like Murray. Many girls want to give you a chance to get here at least once.
A lot of people really didn't believe in us this year, to be honest. I mean, freshman and sophomore year, neither one of us played much, but our junior and senior year, we played a lot, and we really had to step up, and it means a lot to us. Like, last year, we started for the first time, we started varsity, and we really just had to step up and do our part, and this year, it means a whole lot more. Like I said, no one believed in us, and we made it this far, and that's just awesome.
I think for Murray, like around Murray, they kind of expect us to go just because we've always gone there. But I think we really take it for granted sometimes that there's only 16 teams that actually get to come up here, and we're just glad that we had an extra week just to spend with each other.
These 2 seniors are really special to the whole team, and getting rid of them is going to be hard. But a lot of young people are going to have to step up next year to play.
Final question. Coach Faust, congratulations to you and the Lady Tigers on a great season.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Next to your right, please.